Did you know that for every dollar a man earns in his salary, a woman makes 79 cents compared to that? While some people may think that this is not a big deal, others believe that this has been a continuing problem for many years. As we have seen in the past, many individuals, mainly women, have tried to fight the gender pay gap. Today we are hearing more about equal pay when discussing women's and men's sports. You all have probably seen at least one news source on filling the gender pay gap when related to sports in the past, so I know that we may all have our own opinion on the topic at hand. While some may think that equal pay is not important, I hope that after my speech, you will agree with me in saying that there needs to be a change in pay when it comes to sports. Now, I have always been fascinated by sports. From growing up as a young girl playing basketball and watching sports with my family, to being a young adult now and finding new interest in new teams in women's sports. I feel as though this is an important topic to me personally. I know that there needs to be more awareness than there is currently in order for something to change. Today, I will persuade you on why female athletes should receive equal pay in comparison to their male counterparts. I hope to show each one of you how important filling the gender pay gap is and explain how this will help sports grow, how women will be more empowered, and to show that men and women are equal. I believe that we all have our own thoughts on equal pay, as said before, no matter how invested we are in the topic. Having the thought of equal pay in mind regarding sports, we can see how the game may grow if we fill the gender pay gap. According to an article posted by Michelle Kaufman on Miami Herald, the idea of growing the women's game is not that hard and may have an effect after all. She mentions that the disparity in media coverage between men's and women's sports is tremendously different. Fans are given more information about male athletes, their leagues, and their teams than they are compared to women's sports. This causes fans to be more drawn to men's sports and also causes them to buy more tickets for their teams. Kaufman also brings up the idea that having more corporate sponsors may lead to more awareness as well. She highlights different companies that have devoted their time to help bring more recognition to women and their sports. Over the summer, Budweiser became the first sponsor for National Women's Soccer League, also known as the NWSL, drawing more fans in and urging fans to not forget about women's soccer after the World Cup. ESPN also made a deal with the NWSL and agreed to air 14 matches on their servers to grab more attention for fans. Also, Visa's new sponsor and Secret deodorant devoted money into the U.S. women's national team, also known as the USWNT. Secret donated $23,000 to 23 players, which was $529,000 in total. If companies, federations, fans, etc. show their support for women's sports, equal pay amongst athletes will be a success and not just a topic of conversation. While many people have been using the saying equal pay for equal play, many athletes and fans have been empowered by recent updates on this battle. Knowing that the gender pay gap has been an ongoing battle, female athletes from different sports have joined the cause after seeing others get involved. An article posted by the Women's Sports Foundation shows the different women's teams that have been a part of this fight. The USWNT, the WNBA, and the U.S. Women's National Ice Hockey Team, to name a few, have all been a part of the fight for equality in their sports. In an article posted by the New York Times, the author, Andrew Das, writes about the USWNT suing their federation on acts of gender discrimination, pay equity, and working conditions in March of 2019, 3 months before starting the World Cup. Das goes on to explain how the U.S. team has gained respect over time, causing other women's sports to speak out on gender discrimination. Spain, Brazil, Argentina, Colombia, and Norway are a few countries that have spoke out, with Norway winning the equal pay fight. The US players explained that this was motivation for them to fight as well. In another article posted by the New York Times, written by Philip Bondi, he highlights how the fans have shown their support during the USWNT's fight for equal pay. He mentions how fans have held signs that read "Equal play for equal pay" and "Grass only" relating to their turf, to show their support. Bondi gets a quote from the president of the American Outlaws in Hartford, a well-known fan group. The president says, "We've known about this and supported the team for a long time. We want fair play for women everywhere." With fans' support, this will hopefully grow the game and cause more attention to grow for women's sports. As you can see, if the fans and other teams support the women's teams, more attention will be put into the teams in the long run. Let's take a closer look at the numbers produced by a couple of the teams. With equal pay being an end goal according to women's sports teams, female athletes have demonstrated in the past that women and men are equal to each other, proving that they deserve equal pay. As we already know, the USWNT has been one of the most well-known teams on the front line of the equal pay battle. In an article posted on ESPN by editor Emily Kaplan, one of the many things she highlights is the money difference between the men and the women. She mentions that there is a total of $30 million in prize money split between 24 women's teams, and for the men, 32 teams have to split the prize money of $400 million. A tremendous difference can be spotted here. This is interesting to see, figuring that the women's national team has won 4 World Cup championships, and have the #1 rank in FIFA, while the men's national team has 0 World Cup wins and ranks number 22 in the world in FIFA. Let's take a closer look at the difference of pay between the highest paid male and female soccer athletes. Lionel Messi is the highest paid male soccer player in the world, making $127 million compared to the highest paid female soccer player in the world, Alex Morgan, who makes about $5.8 million. This is a major difference in pay considering that they are both very successful athletes. In an article posted by The Guardian, written by Caitlin Murray and Sam Morris, they show how different the pay is with soccer athletes. After going through the online article, you'll be able to see how much money each athlete would make if they were successful in winning their World Cup title. While a woman would gain $260,869 in earnings, a man would earn around $1.1 million. This is a great representation because it shows just how much each person would win with both having successful outcome in their sports. With a $730,000 gender pay gap in the World Cup bonuses, I hope by investing more in the women's game, I believe that with time, they will all succeed in their goal of receiving equal pay with their male counterparts. Getting interested in the game and finding a women's team we personally enjoy watching is something we all can do to help the situation. Drawing more attention to the cause will allow this to be solved sooner than later. I hope that in speaking today, I've convinced at least one of you that this is an ongoing issue that needs to be changed and that you find interest in a women's team soon.